Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order, the HCEDC Type B meeting for Wednesday, July 26, 2023 at 6:01 p.m. Number one, I'd like to announce that we do have a quorum. We have Miss Kathy Brandon, Miss Patricia Parker, myself, and Mr. Steve Alanese present. Item number 3, items of community interest. Haslet is hiring. The city has the following positions posted: City Secretary, Parks and Ground Maintenance Worker 1, part-time library assistant, Water Maintenance Worker 1, Water Maintenance Worker 2, Audio and Visual Office Systems, and Digital Media Technician. Item number 4, consent agenda. We have 3 items to consider. The first item to consider and act on is the June 28, 2023 regular meeting minutes, the July 14, 2023 special meeting minutes, and the June 2023 financial statement report. Does anyone have any questions regarding the reports?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes, the June 28th minutes. And I'm not sure, can we approve the July 14th minutes as well?
Oh, yes, you approve them all at the same time.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the consent agenda
As presented?
as presented.
Okay, do I have a second? I second. Okay, I call for a vote. Those in favor? 4 is unanimous. Item number 5, reports and presentations, the economic development report. Winky?
Yeah, Chairman and members of the commission, there's just 2 things on that report that one of them, and you know about, is the Hurley parking lot, being shelved. And I'm personally working on some little sketches, but there may be some other things coming on that site. The other thing is the I-35 corridor. We are still getting a lot of interest in that, and we're having a lot of conversations with a lot of different people. Some of them are just kicking tires, and some of them are a little bit more serious than the others. But it's just not one spot. It's all up and down the I-35 corridor. So we really can't tell you anything yet, what's coming or what people are talking about. But when they submit something hard and fast, then we'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item number 6, discuss, consider, and act regarding all properties and property management reports. Is that something that we'll discuss in executive session?
Only if the mayor comes here and he wants to talk about it. Other than that, I don't have anything to add to it.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay. Jessica Clark did join the meeting at 6:05 p.m. We're on item number 7. Discuss, consider, and act to make recommendation to the City Council regarding the proposed HCEDC 2023-2024 budget worksheets. I'll open up to the panel for discussion. Is there questions on our budget worksheets?
Yes, I have a few questions on some of the numbers and so forth myself. I believe the last time we mentioned some training, and I think Gary, Mr. Halsey had said that we could do, or whoever was going to participate in the training could do it on Zoom, I believe. Is there any kind of a determination on how many, or would this amount cover it all? I think there's, let me see here. I've forgotten how much is in here for for training. May not have printed it all.
I think training shows
there it is,
$9,000.
And I don't know the cost. Does that seem sufficient, or do we need to increase that?
Yeah, that should be sufficient to cover anything that we
Okay.
have.
Okay. And I had a couple of other things that I'd like to mention. There's professional services and charges, legal fees, engineering, IT support, consultants, and studies. We haven't really discussed this, but I was wondering about surveys on the properties that we, may be selling. And I was just wanting to bring that up and see if we could include that, or how we could determine whether or not there may be some surveys needed.
Yeah, that will happen. You know, if we sell a property, there will need to be some surveys that'll have to occur on those properties.
Okay. What about getting them done, sooner than later? What about, we have some empty lots and such.
Mhm.
We have Hurley Street, we have the lot by the church, and so forth. I have no idea how to go about this, but could we maybe pursue getting surveys on a few of those lots?
Sure. The Hurley Street one already has a survey on it. That
Oh,
was
you
done.
do?
It was done with the parking lot design. It had to be surveyed.
Okay.
So that one's done.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that one of the ones over on Westport Parkway has also been done a long time ago. It's not a new survey, but one's been done there in the past. But the rest of them, we could do that.
Okay. As I drove by the lot next to the church, I really can't tell where the boundaries are. I don't know if you guys have driven past or not, but there's a little playground area at the church, and it extends over to pretty close to the property. And there's a fence that runs within a few feet. It looks like 2 or 3 feet. I didn't get out and walk over there. I don't really know the accuracy of it, but there's a fence line that runs very closely to that shed. And so I was just, wanting to see where the property boundaries really are.
Okay.
I thought perhaps that might be good to know when it's placed on the market. I would think people would want to know.
Those questions will come up if for a prospective purchaser, they'll want to know where everything is.
Okay. And also under professional services, I'm not sure if you'd include this in that or not, but there's a lot of debris in the front of that shed on the lot by the church. I don't know how anyone feels about getting that cleaned up. Just being, a good neighborly citizen next to the church, looks like there's just a lot of debris out there. And I have no idea how much it would cost.
Is that something that maybe our maintenance company that actually cuts the grass there on that lot can take care of?
It could be that, or I don't want to speak for our public works director, which is across here, but they may have some equipment that could load it up and take it to the dump or something.
Okay, well, that's great.
If not, we can find somebody.
Okay. And still along the lines of spending more money, I was walked over to the lot there on Hurley Street, and there are ruts and some things there, I guess, from people cutting across the lot. I don't know if any of you guys have visited it. I don't know how difficult it is for the people to mow. I'm assuming the city must be mowing. I don't know. City's not mowing.
No.
I'm so sorry. What? Oh, that's okay. So anyway, a thought came up about maybe having a load of dirt delivered and fill up the ruts. I don't know if that's necessary or not, but wanted to throw that out there. And let me see here. I don't mean to be the one to take up the whole thing here, but I thought some of the other expenditures, there's one under personnel services and benefits. It says property insurance for next year, it's $1,200. I would think that needs to be stretched out a bit. I would assume, if we maintain, maintain the two rental places, the restaurant and the house itself, I would think that the insurance would grow a little more than that. I don't know if you have bids or quotes or so forth, how we could look into that, but that may need to be increased a little bit, just my opinion. Okay. 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 Okay.
So one thing I noticed is it appears like from 2022 to year 2023, and then that we're carrying forward to next year, some of the line items under the operations and maintenance area, the prices jumped to $10,000 under property number 210 Main Street, which is the vacant lot church. Under the 105, 156 Hurley Street vacant lot, and under the 120 Main Street, which is the house. That seemed like a fairly high jump in numbers from one year to the next. Does anyone have a good understanding of what that covers?
You're talking about under operations and maintenance?
Under operations and maintenance, correct.
I think it's page 29. Or-
Okay, but we've got maintenance of $6,500 for a vacant lot. That seems a little excessive. Okay. Well, the only reason I question it is in our prior years, there was nothing under that line item. That's what I didn't understand. Or at least in the summary. I'm looking at the summary page. That's the page that shows the 4-year view. You got voice. The 500. No, they're just.
I did some, I did some research today, just looking at TAD, and the vacant lots that the city has are tax exempt. And I didn't know. And I wasn't able to, I was trying to find my way around on TAD. They've changed some of the information in that, and I didn't pursue it all the way, but I was gonna try to calculate the taxes on the rental home as well as the restaurant, but I didn't get that far. I pulled up the property values and such, and I don't know where the spot went that you can calculate the taxes. But in speaking with that as well, the $4,500 on 201-156, which is the restaurant, I don't know, that's not much for taxes and insurance. And I know we've discussed, I think there's some roof damage and such over there, and maybe the insurance company hasn't included the entire restaurant, maybe the outbuilding or something that's been extended. So perhaps maybe we need to get that all updated a little bit, and maybe increase that budget for some repairs. Or at least.
Well, we have a couple options. We can approve the budget as is, knowing the numbers might look a little bit off in certain areas, or we can call another special meeting, because we have to have this approved to the city council by what date, Katrina?
Are going to go through. So the best thing to do, they can always do a budget amendment if
Right.
it's needed. Since
Right.
we don't know for sure that it's needed, that should be, satisfactory. But these are the numbers that they've already gone through.
Gone through, okay.
The books of, it's published on the website, and they've been printed
Right.
for council, and already met the preliminary budget.
Right. And one consideration is this is really just a budget. This isn't what we're necessarily spending. It's just a forecast. So with that being said, is there other questions that anyone else saw anything that looked a little abnormal to them that you want to question? Or if there are no other questions, then I would like to call for a motion. As presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Those in favor? 5-0, it's unanimous. Okay, item number 8, executive session. Section, or 8.1, section 551.072, Government Code, deliberation regarding real property, purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, if deliberation is an open meeting, would be detrimental in effect on position of the government body in negotiations with a third person. And then we have the properties to consider. So are we going into executive session?
Halsey said we did not have anything specific for executive, so we don't.
Okay. All right, then executive session will not take place tonight. So we'll move on to item number 10, consider an act regarding items to be placed on the next agenda.
I'd like to make a motion that we place a little brochure on the agenda. I think it had been discussed several meetings back, and then other things surfaced. And I pick this up. There's just a little brochure if we're still interested. This is on North Lake, and it just gives all the businesses and such on there and where they are, and that, don't know if anybody would be interested, but maybe this would be an appropriate time to talk about it.
Okay, all right. So then, is there any other items to be placed on the agenda? Okay, the time is 6:22. I call the meeting adjourned.